Hello again, world. This is Charlotte, creator of things, back again, making a big colourful mess. I'm really sad because I was nearly finished with this voiceover and then I movie crashed, which I think a little part of my soul just is crying inside. But anyway, we'll go right ahead. Let's move on because you weren't here for that. You don't know about that. This week, last week was my 1 year Lociversary. And for those of you who don't know, that means that a year ago, on July the 7th, 2016, I put in 2-strand twists in my hair. Well, my grandma did put in 2-strand twists for me, and I have not taken them out. And over the year, they have locked together, and now they're mine forever until the end of time, unless I cut them off. And that's what has happened. So that's what I was celebrating last week, Friday. And to commemorate the occasion, I wanted to draw this girl, this lovely lady, who was one of the inspirations for me getting my locks. I just stumbled across her, I guess, on Instagram. I would always look for type in dreadlocks and then look at everyone who had dreadlocks to help me decide whether I wanted them or not. I've been considering them for a very long time. You don't even know how indecisive I am. 2-3 years possibly going back and forth, I really like them, but can I commit to them? Do I really want them? I don't really know. Are people going to judge me if I have them? Because there's a lot of stigma related to locks and the origins of them, and I think in America now it's officially legal to discriminate against people for having locks. You can not hire people because they have locks. And I was like, is that something I really want to add to my life? But I decided to go for it in the end. I really liked them. I liked what they represent, but it was a way that I could be natural and have my natural hair and be able to maintain it myself. Wouldn't be a huge amount of time and of my life that was going into it, because I felt like a lot of my life with loose natural hair was caring for my hair, which I really wasn't about. Not about that life. And this life suits me far better. So yeah, a year ago I took the plunge, and I can't believe how quickly the time has passed, honestly. So I have Danielle to thank for that. She's known on Instagram as Lady Swag 55, so you can check her out if you're interested in seeing more of her photos. She's been growing her locks for 16 years now, I think it is. And yeah, just so inspired by them. I thought they're beautiful, and I was like, that would be the goal, just to to have such beautiful locks. Even though they say you shouldn't idolize, you shouldn't have lock goals, because then you're only going to be disappointed if your locks don't look that way. But no, I'm quite happy with how mine look at the moment, so I look forward to seeing how they change over the years to come. And I'm really glad I went for it. So yeah, that's what this piece was drawn to celebrate. I'm sorry that it didn't actually start at the beginning. I thought when I first began, I thought I was filming when I was sketching it and colouring it in, but I was not. So that's why we started midway in after I'd already started doing the skin. But you've seen me do skin before, you know how it goes. I just laid down the base colour and then went over it with lighter shades and variations in a more transparent round brush. The most important part of this video for me was to get the locks right, of course, as that's what it was made to celebrate. As you know, my patience is small when it comes to details, but I really didn't want to phone it in on the locks. I really wanted them to look as three-dimensional and lifelike as they do. Lifelike? As robust as they do in the photo. To achieve this, I thought it was important to kind of get the highlights and lowlights of the hair and all of the the little strands that go into making them, especially at the front, on the front row, because there it's really defined and you can see the difference between the lock and the scalp. So instead of just doing one big brown block at first, as I'd gone in, I wanted to add in the tones, the highlights where it's picking up the highs. I don't think it's as reflective or as shiny as loose hair might be, but it was important to show that it did still have different tones, and there were areas that caught the light, to show the difference between the locks, and that they do all twist in one direction, One Direction. But I wanted to show that also they were all different, and so it wasn't just me copy and pasting the lines. I drew all of the lines individually, had some of them going slightly different directions, and then had some strands coming off, because yeah, that is to make it more realistic. It's not just perfect cylinders up and down, even though there are methods that you can do your locks so they are like perfect cylinders, and I think those do look stunning. But then that is, if you can't do it yourself, that means you're going to the hairdressers for hours on end to get someone to do that for you to your hair. And one of the major reasons I got locks was so I didn't have to go to the hairdressers anymore, because I hate the hairdressers. I just don't find it an enjoyable experience. I find it quite painful, then like trying to pay, and it's never what they told you it was going to be at first, because 1 minute it's £40 and then they're like, oh, I didn't realise how much hair you had, now it's £60. And yeah, I don't enjoy the experience. So that was the plan. So I did the eyes next, and just they were it was different doing them, because normally I always do eyes like head on, but as this was a profile, it's kind of going up against angles and forms that I haven't really worked with before, so that was quite a challenge. Particularly the hands that we're moving on to now, because as you can see, the sketch of them was pretty meh. I don't like hands, which I think is quite a common feeling amongst people who draw people. So in shading them, I just kind of had to trust my eyes again and really try and translate exactly what I could see, because otherwise I really wouldn't have known what I was doing, because I think I hate them because I don't understand the form of hands, kind of how to translate something with so much depth into a flat surface is a struggle. So yeah, definitely more practice on that we could do. Maybe we should just have a video where we just focus on hands. That could be something. Oh yeah, and going into a lot of detail on the ear, something I wouldn't normally do, because usually I can't even see ears in my drawings, even if they are available, they're always there. But if they're there, I usually just cover them up with hair, because I don't want to get into looking at the nooks and crannies of the ear, and because they're so complicated, there's so much going on in there, and like so much up and down and ridges. But the jewellery, it's fine. I love drawing jewellery. I'm a bit of a magpie when it comes to everything, so anything shiny I enjoy. So colouring those was fun, and I wanted to really put the texture into the trousers to show that they weren't as smooth, like they were kind of they had that stubbly texture, so I found a brush that let me put that in, which was great. And here I was just trying to mimic in the photo the reflection of her pink shirt on her jawline, things that I would never ever even do in the past. So I guess we are making some improvements in this art journey, in just considering everything about an image, like the lighting and reflections from clothes, which I never ever would have thought about. So we are making some progress in stages towards realism, and that hand was much better to do. I prefer hands where you can't see the fingers or anything, because it's just a lot nicer. I decided to leave in the initial sketch outlines because I kind of like the way it made it look. It kind of feels like I feel like it has like a 90s cartoon vibe. Especially because of the colours of what she's wearing, and I kind of had in my mind I was going to make a kind of fun coloured background with like squiggles and stuff to make it like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air-esque. I don't know why I had that on my mind. And then this part, drawing the tattoo, very challenging. So I wanted it to look good, obviously, but it was symmetrical. And I didn't quite trust myself to draw in lines symmetrically, so I did cheat a bit and just like I drew one side and then copied and pasted it onto the other side, so that it would be as accurate as possible. But it was quite fun, making a little challenge and seeing what shapes I had to make that I could duplicate to turn into what it should actually look like. Like tattoo artists, I have so much respect for them, like drawing something and then it's going to be there forever. I could never. I quite fancy a tattoo. I've been looking at stuff, but I don't know what I would get. which is, I guess, the main reason why people don't get tattoos, because it's going to be there forever. But I do really like this one. I think it's very nice. I guess it represents something that's important to her, which is really cool. So yeah, recreating that was fun. I think it's a sort of scarab beetle. Probably have to check that out before I leave that in there. But yeah, then I was shading it in, because in the picture it's not just line work, there is a lot of shading on it too. So that's what I was working on here, just in different layers, and then blending it out with the smudge tool. And then once I was done, I merged all of the layers together of the tattoo, and then lightened it and darkened it in a way so that it kind of went with the curvature of her arm and reflected what I could see. Oh yeah, and then this was the funky background. this one. Just to get that squiggle perfect, it took a while. But yeah, and the last part was just adding in the lock jewelry that she had in her hair, which I hadn't put in before, and blending it and making it look authentic. And yeah, that is the finished piece. So I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. Danielle actually commented on the work in progress, and I lost it. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I hope you liked the finished piece, Danielle, and you enjoyed watching it be made, if you stayed with it this long. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!